Welcome to the Four Listeners Program. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thanks for checking us out this week. On the mics this week, we have the Z-Man. What is up, Z?
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Now take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. Reading rainbow.
Wow.
I thought there was going to be more to it.
A reading rainbow.
Okay, all right, thanks. All right. On the other mic, we have the illustrious Corey G. How you feeling, buddy?
What's up, dude?
Hanging in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You know what's crazy? The fact that Jordy looks more fucked up without his visor than he does with his visor on. How's that?
Yeah, his eyes. You're not used to seeing the dude with eyes.
Exactly.
It fucks your face. It fucks your head up. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see him with that gold hairband on his eyes there. Yeah, no doubt.
Absolutely. Poor bastard.
Right.
He probably has to wear that thing everywhere.
Otherwise, nobody knows who the hell he is.
Yep.
Yeah, right on. What up, everybody? I'm Spear. I'm going to throw this one over to the Z-Man. Z-Man, what do we got going on this week?
Something must be done about public libraries. And first off, I'm going to say right now, I don't say library right. I say library, not How do you say I say library, not library.
That's right.
I also say crown instead of crayon. And I also say remember instead of remember. Or I say remember instead of remember. Excuse me. I don't know how I say it right.
Do you say supposedly?
Supposedly. No, I say supposedly.
All right. That's the other one, supposedly.
And the one, I just heard this one the other day. The word restaurateur
Yeah?
does not have an N in it.
Restaurant tour?
What?
Huh?
There's no N in the word. I don't know. If you try to spell restaurateur, it's going to come up in spell check wrong because you put an N in it. Like you would spell restaurant with the letters EUR at the end.
It's restaurateur without the
There's
N?
there's no N.
How about that?
Fucking crazy.
Learn something new every day.
That shit cray. We should probably cut this out, re-edit it, because this is really weird to have this in the beginning of the show.
No, fuck that. It all stays.
Something must be done about public libraries.
Word.
So, I got several beefs with the library, and the other day I'm in a meeting in my office, and we're talking about getting involved in this, I don't know, $40 million project, of which we're trying to get a little piece of, in which they're going to come up with this super database of libraries in which they're going to digitize these private works. It's kind of like what the Google project's doing, but they're going to do it with private collections. So like shit that just doesn't exist out there. It's not like we're going to document, what the Cat in the Hat is up to, but the original works of Galileo and like Euclid and shit like that.
Well, that's good.
Anyway,
right? That's good.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But I got onto a little tangent about talking about libraries and how I think libraries are dumb. And my beef with libraries is like, have you been to a public library in the last, I don't know, like 10 years?
No, not personally, Corey.
I don't think so.
Do you know why? There's no reason to go to one. You are what's the fucking word I'm trying to think of? You have a job.
We're employed?
You're employed, excuse me. You can afford to pay for your own internet. Going to a public library is for homeless people and people who are too cheap to buy internet and have neighbors who are too smart to give out free internet.
And perverts.
And perverts. Sure, perverts too. Like, there's no point in going to a fucking library anymore because why would you ever go there?
Books.
Books? No. Nobody reads books. You get shit on your Kindle. You can put shit on your iPad. You iBook everything. There's no reason to go to a store, and if you're going to go to a store, you just go to well, I guess you can't go to Borders, but you go to Barnes and Nobles, or you go to one of those places. You just get a book. You just buy a book, or you steal it from your friend, or you just download it off Pirates Bay. You don't go to a library anymore. The only people I've seen in libraries are homeless people trying to get out of the cold, and people who are too poor to steal internet from Starbucks, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, why would you just go to Starbucks? I guess to get your internet. But it's depressing. It's always sad. There's like two people in the entire place, and it's a burden on the taxpayer dollar to be able to keep a facility like that running, and it just makes no sense to me because like nobody uses it. 90%. I don't know what the percentage. I'm going to make up a percentage here. I'm going to say 80% of the world population of the tax-paying. Hold on, I'm going to even say it's higher than that of the actual tax-paying population because the people who are there are probably not taxpayers.
Well, so all right, look, my kid goes to the library every week for story time. So they at the library, the township building right near me, they do story time. I think it's like every Tuesday. And my kid goes. He's 4 years old, and they do story time. They sit. There's singing. There's reading of books. And that's a nice thing for the kids.
But there's no reason that has to be a public works project, not a public works project. What do you call it? Community project. You could no. What am I thinking? What's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
A tax-paying project.
Well,
There should be local community places you could do the same thing. In my neighborhood, we have this place called Isabella Stella. It's a fancy kids toy store, and they have they got a little ballroom, lots of little toys, and they have story time. They got story time. They got puppet time. They got all that stuff, and you can offload that to a private sector and let them do it. There's no reason you have to have that in a taxpayer-funded environment.
But it's a community thing. It's a nice thing that the community does. It's part of the reason why you pay taxes.
So I got to pay for your fucking kids to have it can't even be that much money anyway. How much money is that? What do you get? This like a freaky elementary school teacher who's super overdramatic and puts on the voices and dresses up like a witch?
Well, I don't think they ever dress up, but they certainly do the voices. There's music. There's song. It's nice for the kids. They sit on mats and they sing songs. It's nice. It's nice. It's a community thing. Other kids from the neighborhood, they go, they sing, they laugh. It's nice. Why do you gotta take down the kids, Z?
I don't know. It's these things like this that are just. Let's put it this way. How about this? It's an inefficiently run endeavor.
All right, so I'll at least give you the one thing though that the digital thing now, like there's in South Jersey the South Jersey library system now allows you to download books straight to your Kindle. So as long as you have a library card or an account with the library, you can download books straight to your Kindle from their website.
Do they have a limit on the number that you can do? Like, do you have to someone gets a license and then they have to de-license it before someone else can get that license?
Yeah. So they only have like 5 Kindle versions available, and then you check out like you would take out a book at a library. You check out a Kindle copy, and the Kindle copy will actually expire after a certain period of time, and you'll have to go re-download it.
That's so stupid. There's no point in doing that other than it's the existing metaphor.
Well, yeah, but you also want to be able to get those books back so other people can read them. It's the same. The same paradigm.
Why? You were giving me permission to read that book. That is what I have on this digital copy.
Not
I have
indefinitely,
to read this
though.
book.
Not
Why
indefinitely.
do I have an expiration date? Why is there an expiration date? And why is there a limited license? It's not like if you have it, I can't read it. There's no reason the two of us can't read it at the same time.
Well, I mean, you have to pay the author, right? So the author has to get paid, and you can't just rent out like infinite copies of the book.
Why not?
Because the author needs to get paid.
The author's going to get a licensing fee. The
Well,
library.
Do you pay the author a licensing fee for the 20,000 downloads? Do you pay it by the download? No.
No, they're going to pay for a site license. They have a license that they can distribute this thing to anybody for 2 weeks at a time.
Right, and the site license is 5 books.
Why 5 though?
Because that's what you're paying for.
You're paying for bits.
You're not paying for. It's represented as bits, but it's a book. I know it's hard to visualize, right? But it's a book. You're paying for the book.
Who cares? If you make it too restrictive, I'm just going to download it for free off of the internet anyway. Take the money that somebody's willing to give you and be happy with it.
To be fair, Spear, you are arguing with somebody who watches video while he drives.
Thank you.
So here's my next one, and I think all that stuff is actually kind of cool, which is cool. I just think it's weird that they have a restriction on the number of licenses that are allowed out there. But fine, whatever. So the library system here is set up in such that if there is a book at another public library somewhere else in the state, you can have it redirected to your local library and then pick it up from there. And you could do this with DVDs. And I've got a friend who thinks it's awesome that she gets free movies from the library system and can get whatever movies she wants. You know, they're not like the brand new movies, but eventually they'll come out and she'll get them. And you can go on the website, you can say, I want this movie, and it's and she keeps saying it's so amazing, it's free. It's not free. It's not free to ship a frickin' movie from West Massachusetts to Boston. Someone's got to pack it. Someone's got to put it in a box. Someone's got to track it and ship it and send it out. And then it gets delivered to you, and then someone's got to process it when it comes back out. That movie probably costs, like, I don't know, $27 to ship it from one place to another.
Well, let's not get carried away. It doesn't take $27 to ship something across the state. Right,
With all the time spent to pay for the person and the shipping materials and all the other crap. The overhead.
Maybe if you factor in what the employees are being paid, but keep in mind that these are civil employees.
$15, $10.
Well, whatever. Is it you're mad that she's getting stuff for free and you're not in on it?
I'm mad that she thinks it's free. But but the savings to her, I mean, obviously it's $15 when you divide amongst all the tax-paying people in the state. Yes, that's very cheap for everybody. But you can just go to the fucking Red Box across the street from her house and pay $1 and save the state $15.
But it's a service. It's a service that
It's a retarded service.
Why is it a retarded service? It's a service that the library provides. If you want
that movie so much, then go to that place and pick it up yourself. It should not be a service, a free service that they're being the postal service. Postal service isn't free. You got to pay. If you want that movie shipped, then you should pay for the expense to have that shipped.
I think it's a nice thing. I think it's a convenience that
you know
you're
what the
paying.
nice thing is too? It's nice when someone gives me a blowjob, but it's not free.
You're doing it wrong.
What do you mean? Well, if you have a girlfriend, it may be free. Well, then again, it's never really free, is it?
It's never free.
It's never free.
It's as free as that free fucking movie is to check out from the library. Someone's paying.
All right. I want to go back to something you said about the Barnes and Noble thing for a minute, because it's one thing when what drives me crazy when I talk about freeloaders or people who just go for like free shit. At least at a library, you're supposed to sit there and read the books. What drives me crazy are the people who go into a Barnes and Noble and pull a book off the shelf. Now, keep in mind, everything in Barnes and Noble is for sale, right?
Yes.
The people sit in Barnes and Noble and read the books. That's like shoplifting the pootie.
That's exactly what that is. That's shoplifting. You know what? You just gave me the brilliant idea that I've never tried before. I like to read on the toilet, as most people do.
Right.
That'd be sweet to go to Barnes & Noble's and take a big shit and just grab a magazine off the rack.
Right.
That'd be
Well,
awesome.
just think, you're probably not the first one to read it.
Touche.
But you know what the best part about the Barnes & Noble thing is that they actually have like chairs and things set up so that people can do this. Like, how does that make sense for the Barnes & Noble?
Well, because they don't pay for the magazine. They don't sell it. They rip the cover off or they destroy it, and the distributor eats the cost.
But it's not just the magazines. It's the books, too, Corey. I mean, people are sitting there reading books.
Well, you know what? Only assholes read a book and don't buy it in a store.
That's what I'm saying.
So I want to bring it back into, I do value the libraries. I think the libraries do serve a valuable purpose for what you were saying, for the under like 6 crowd, like before first grade crowd, of having that place where kids can go and play, they can get some story time. I think that books are still very relevant for children, and the market for children is story time. Going back to that Stella Bella place I have here in Boston, they have a toy store, and the idea obviously would be to get people into the store so that they buy toys. If they were to create their own lending library there, where they had, I don't know, an archive of 500 books or 1,000 books or something, like a collection of 1,000 books, set them up with a little barcode or a little RFID tag, create a little bit of software package that you can track them, and then you can lend them out or charge money to be part of this program where they can get the books from the store. And in exchange, you could set up this thing where, for every 20 books your kid reads, you get 10% off your next purchase.
So basically, you're turning into a Blockbuster Video for kids' books.
I'm turning into a library that doubles as a store loyalty program.
Interesting. So if you take a book out like enough times in a row, so does it count if you take the same book out enough times in a row?
It doesn't matter. The store can come up with their own rules. I mean, the store is more than happy to give away a 10% coupon with, I'm sure they have limitations saying it's only good for this or that or, not on these sale items or whatever else they're going to put other limitations. But they're more than happy to give you a 10% off coupon. You now got somebody in your store because they're going to be coming back every day or 3 days or 5 days to get more books. You limit how many books they can take out, so they can't take out 10 books at a time. They can only take out 1 or 2 at a time. And you got that foot traffic because you're going to bring the kid back in every single time to go get a new book, and they're going to have to walk by all those amazing little toys on the way to the bookstore, on the book section, because you're going to put that in the back of the store.
And when a kid gets really obsessed with a particular book, you can go right back to the store and purchase it at a discount and walk out with the book that your kid really likes.
Absolutely. So you come up with a business that can set up the software. You got a guy who comes out there every 3 or 6 months to update the book collection. And that's it. And now you have this like perfect little place where you can get all these books in your neighborhood. I don't know. I think there's a business idea there. I don't know if it's a viable one. I was trying to figure out the math on it. Like, how do you actually make money then? So you're gonna have to charge that store an initial amount to just get set up, and then you can charge them on a monthly fee for the services.
You wonder whether or not you make enough, in people in loyalty purchases to not have to charge for a membership.
Right.
And you wonder whether or not, like, maybe you charge, like, for, like, story time and things like that. Maybe you charge, like, a small admission.
$1.
Yeah, whatever it is, to pay maybe some of your overhead. But, I mean, at the heart, you're a bookstore, and you're looking to sell books.
Well, at the heart, you're a toy store, and you sell books.
Well, you're a toy store, you're a bookstore. You're still looking to sell things, so...
I assume the markup on the toys is more than the books.
Right. It's not a bad idea, Z. I'll say that much.
Just thinking. I'm always thinking.
It's not a bad idea.
Can't turn this thing off.
There is no off switch on awesome.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
All right, what did we learn? What did we learn about Zet's ideas there, Corey?
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think they were good, though. I would like to participate in the profit sharing if they succeed.
Very good. I'll tell you what, Z. I learned that I agree with you. I think that public libraries have a purpose, but
Did you say library?
did I?
I think you did.
Public libraries have a
There you
purpose, but I think it's rapidly outdating itself.
That's what I'm saying. It's dated. It needs to be updated.
Yeah, it needs to be updated. I think there's still a place for community programs for kids, but I agree with you. Your idea on how to capitalize on that kind of stuff. There's a lot of merit to that, no doubt. So if you agree with Z-Man and you think that public libraries are no good,
Did you do that on purpose?
I did it on purpose. Okay?
God, I wanted to call you out, you son of a bitch.
I did it on purpose. If you think that public libraries are no good, and that the people at Barnes & Noble should just buy the fucking books, why don't you go ahead and post it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/4listeners or 4listeners.com. I'll tell you what, you don't need to go to a library to download us on iTunes. Just search for 4 Listeners. We'll pop right on up. We thank you for checking us out this week, and we hope that you will check us out again next week. Thanks a bunch, everybody.
Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.